Hello and welcome to the Real Talk and Banter podcast. I'm Amari.
And I'm Jay.
And today we're going to talk about the movie Inglourious Basterds.
Each and every man under my account owes me 100 Nazi scalps, and I want my scalps. Was that good?
The line was good. The line delivery was good.
It was good.
If you were trying to go for
it wasn't Lieutenant Aldo, but it was good, I thought. I could get that. I could get that.
How excited were you when you found out where Lieutenant Aldo was from? Was that bothering you at all throughout the movie or no?
No.
No, it wasn't. Oh my God.
No.
I'm like, where is this accent from?
I don't know what it was.
Yeah, well, they said it at the end of the movie, and I was like, Tennessee. Oh. Oops, spoiler alert. Yeah. So for me, that was a big moment because his accent work in this movie was interesting.
It was interesting. Yeah. It was especially the weirdest thing is everybody else just had flawless accents, and it was just like this guy, and it was just like, but I guess it kind of worked. So anyway, that's right, folks. Today we're breaking down Quentin Tarantino's 2009 World War II reimagining Inglourious Basterds, a film that kind of takes history, throws it in a movie theater, and lets cinema itself win the war. So let's talk a little bit about a background. So, again, directed by Quentin Tarantino, released in 2009. Well, we were 19? Jesus. Those days.
Well, yeah. You were 19. I hadn't been 19 yet. It was in August.
Excuse the hell out of me. Well, I was 19 and a whore, folks. 19 and a whore. But I've been saved.
Not by this movie.
Not by this movie, no. Quentin Tarantino did this with a budget of $70 million. With the amount of folks that were in there, you would think that it would be much more, but only $70 million. Yeah, not too bad. Yeah. Worldwide, they actually made $321 million. So actually a pretty good hit. I think it was actually Tarantino's biggest hit up until
Oppenheimer. No, sorry.
Ooh.
Tarantino. Sorry.
Yeah,
why did I say
Tarantino.
Oppenheimer?
I don't know where
I'm not even in the right podcast right now. Sorry.
No.
Sorry.
God,
that's embarrassing.
Some movie, Oppenheimer.
Django Unchained.
There you go. Exactly.
Yeah,
Django Unchained with Jamie Foxx, who is now a clone, but we won't talk about that here. Anyway, shot across France and Germany. One of the things here that we know about this is Tarantino actually wrote this way before it came out, like back in 1999 or so. But he just said that he didn't have the right cast for it. So once he found which actor did he feel that he had the right cast?
I'm going to go out on a limb and say it's Christoph Waltz.
Hell yes. Christoph Waltz held that entire movie together in ways that are just mind-blowing. It was actually his breakout role. And we talk a little bit more of that. So, talking about the plot here, there's two major storylines that are going on at the same time, and they kind of almost run into each other quite a bit. Kind of wish that somebody was talking to the other to help out, but either way, there's the Bastards, which is led by Brad Pitt as Lieutenant Aldo Raine. He leads a team of Jewish American soldiers who are terrorizing Nazis. He's the one who comes up with that very famous line of wanting Nazi scalps, and by God, they got Nazi scalps.
They did. They did not spare any expense in that.
They did not. And then we had Shoshana's Revenge. So Melanie Laurent as Shoshana, she owns a Paris cinema and plots to kill Hitler and the Nazi high command. So these two storylines are both happening at the same time and kind of explode in a finale at Shoshana's theater. Let's talk about some other fun facts. So, as we alluded to, you have Christoph Waltz, who, again, like I said, Tarantino almost gave up on the movie until Christoph Waltz came in, auditioned. He spoke 4 languages fluently. He actually does speak German,
let me guess the
Italian.
4. Damn.
What?
I was going to say, let me guess the 4.
I'm sorry. Go for it.
But you just gave 2. Obvious English
so you got 3
is
more? Or
the
2
third.
more?
Well, English is one of the 4, correct?
Correct.
Yeah, so I would have one more. So I will say French.
Oh yeah, he does speak French. So he does speak all 4 of those languages fluently. He won an Oscar. He won a Golden Globe. He won a BAFTA. He was pretty much cleaning up that year. So yeah.
You know what he didn't win?
What? Oh, go for it.
Yeah, so because you're right, he was nominated for a whole bunch of things. There were a couple things where he was nominated for and he didn't win. A Saturn Award for Best Supporting Actor. He did not win that one. And the other thing, Best Villain. That was a MTV Movie Award for Best Villain.
Best Villain, yeah. Okay.
Yes.
He did not win that?
He did not win that.
Oh, okay. Oh, he probably would have tried if he did win that. So.
Well, let me tell you what those movies were for Best Villain. I want you to guess who won
for that year.
Best Villain
okay,
for that year.
Let's go for it. Okay.
So our contenders are Helena Bonham Carter in Alice in Wonderland. Sorry, that's the Red Queen for Alice in Wonderland. You have Tom Felton as Draco Malfoy in Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince. You have Ken Jeong as Leslie Chow in The Hangover. And then you have Stephen Lang as the Colonel in Avatar. Avatar with the blue people. So which of those? Draco Malfoy, the Red Queen from Alice in Wonderland, Leslie Chow from The Hangover, the Colonel of Avatar. Which one of those beat out Christoph Waltz as the villain of the year according to MTV Awards?
See, I would have to go with like the 2 most popular of those movies, which probably be Harry Potter or Avatar. So I'm gonna go with Harry Potter.
You nailed it. Tom Felton beat out Christoph Waltz for villain of the year. I don't know why Draco won that one, but whatever.
I mean, it's Harry Potter. Harry Potter's gonna win everything. Like that took over the world for many years. So I get it.
Yeah. And don't get me wrong, I am a Potterhead. So those of you who listen, this is not Harry Potter. I need the people to know because they don't know.
Okay.
All right. Sorry. Please
he is a Potterhead, folks. Don't cancel him. He's a Potterhead. I, on the other hand, just started watching the movies like the other day, so.
What? Why now?
You know, I was on a long flight, and it was one of the options, and I was in it. So then I went home and just started binge watching because I was like, oh, this is great. Why have I not watched this before?
All of those movies are so long. That is a lot of your life you're about to commit to Harry Potter.
Yes.
But hey, I'm glad. I'm glad. Welcome. I'm glad you're finally taking that step.
Thank you. All right, so let's get into it. Let's do this thing. I think the folks have heard us talking enough about this, and they want to hear what we gotta say. So, opening scene. Christoph Waltz. Crap. What's his? Oops, I forgot his name.
Landa.
Landa?
Hans Landa. Yeah. Christoph Waltz character.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. We start out with him, and he is on a farm, and off rip, you could just cut the tension with a knife. Like, you have no idea what is gonna happen, but you know it's bad. But I don't know, he kind of gives you that. He has such a charming presence. Like, you could feel the kind of evil behind him, but you could also feel the charm behind him. So it's almost like, oh, he's not gonna do anything, but at the same time, you're like, nah, he gonna do something. So I don't know. That scene was just tension, and it was just I almost couldn't write any notes. I was just sucked in, just wondering what is happening next.
It was very difficult to take notes in that scene because I didn't want to take myself out of it. I agree. And I can imagine this podcast is going to be us gushing about Christoph Waltz because, oh my gosh, every time he was, when he wasn't in the scene, I'm waiting for him to show up, you know? the oh my gosh. So you want to start from just like the beginning of this season. So they did this movies with chapters, right? So we want to just take it chapter at a time and approach it that way.
Let's do that. Chapter 1.
Chapter 1. Opening credits though. Did you catch this? You know what I'm about to say?
What?
The Weinstein Company. I was like, yikes.
Right. Yeah.
I guess you can't take that off.
I didn't see that, but I could think about it.
Oh my gosh! Yeah, I caught that right away. I was like, oh wow.
That didn't age well.
It did not. But so we start off with the guy. I guess the farmer. We just call him the farmer, right? He doesn't have a name.
Yeah, we call him the farmer. Yeah, I don't think they actually. I mean, he probably introduced himself, but whatever. The farmer.
Yeah. He's up there. He's out there chopping wood with an axe, and I don't know why that distracted me because I'm like, can I do that? Like, would I be able to chop wood with an axe? Have you done that before?
I have never chopped wood with an axe. I mean, I chopped down a Christmas tree, I guess.
No, you didn't. What do you mean chop down a Christmas tree?
What do you mean? Like, you could just go to, like, Christmas tree farms, and they'll give you, like, an axe, and you could just chop them down. You could cut your own Christmas tree down. You know, it was a minute. It wasn't like 2 hits and it fell. Like, it was a little time consuming.
In my mind, that took you like 2 hours to do.
No, not 2 hours. No, like maybe like 30 minutes.
Did you do it inside of an hour? You did that inside of an hour? 30 minutes?
Yeah. I mean, the tree, Christmas tree trunks aren't like that large. You're talking about maybe 6 inches. So you just chop on one side, chop on the other side, chop on one side, chop on the other side, and then it falls down. Then you could push it after a while,
Yeah, I guess. All right. I guess this is what being in the military does for you, huh?
Yes. Chop down Christmas trees. That's part of our training, actually.
All right. So fast forward. So Christoph Waltz shows up, right? So with his Nazis, soldiers. Wow. Mm-hmm. And he soldiers. Comes in and he's, you talked about how charming he was. And he says to the daughters, he's like, each daughter is lovelier than the last, which I thought was so rude. And he said it so, I'm like, what? So like that first daughter.
You. Then the last one is like, wait, the first one's like, what the
Yeah, he only hugged one of them. Oh, he kissed one of them, only one of their hands. And
right.
I'm just like, his energy alone, his presence in that scene.
Yeah.
You're just like, what is about to happen?
He's just commanding. You don't know what is going to happen.
And then he asked for a glass of milk.
Yes.
If that's not the most sicko shit I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, I just think that, I think I'm going to just gush here. So I'm trying not to because
do it.
I just, like I said, there is so much tension. There's so much things not said. He did such a great job that he didn't even have to really threaten the farmer. He just kind of sat down with him, talked to him calmly, and before you know it, man was spilling his guts and essentially. Well, I mean, he's not responsible. Well, he did. Okay, so he didn't threaten him like with violence. He threatened with the threat of violence. He's like, well, we're gonna keep coming back.
I mean, the badge is a threat, though. Like he is a representative of the Nazi army, of Hitler's guys. So that alone is the threat, and he has that command. He knows I don't have to say do this or else that. He just has to walk into your door, and you're holding your breath. Right. And
right.
He just. It's the slow play. He does this a few times. The conversations he have with people, he just takes his time. He takes all the time in the world. He's like, oh, your daughters are so lovely. And the cows are fantastic. This milk is delicious. Oh, mwah, 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 kisses, kisses, kisses. And like, I was getting so annoyed the whole time. I'm like, what the fuck do you want, dude? My anxiety was through the roof. I'm like, just ask for it. Just say what you want. All right, dude.
But he didn't have to say it.
Yeah.
He just,
No.
He not till the end. But I was just saying, like, because the threat of the badge, the threat of the Nazi soldiers and stuff like that, it's been happening. They already were taking over France. They're already there. They already had been in the farm. He already had been, successfully hiding his family and lying to everyone about where they've been. So it was just the presence of this guy who just came in, asked for some milk, told him his daughters were kind of ugly but kind of cute, sent them outside, and then this man just gave him up. And he knew what he was giving up. So, and you could really feel like even though we don't give him a name right now, he's just a farmer. You could really feel the pain of what he just did. I mean, it wasn't his fault necessarily. Like, he's not the reason why, but he knows that he just sacrificed an entire family, for his own, betterment, or so he doesn't get hurt or his girls doesn't get hurt, which that is such a dilemma. That is such a what do they call that? What's that dilemma they call where like you sacrifice like 20 people to save your one family member?
Trolley,
or something
it's a
like
trolley
that.
problem. It's a trolley problem.
Right. The trolley problem. Right. Yeah, it's such that of like, all right, do I not say anything and then get my ass kicked, possibly killed? Do I say something and just like give up these folks with their son and their daughter and I think the uncle, the mother, the father, and he had to make a very quick snap decision of, even though I might love these people, I want them no harm, I have to think about myself. And you could just feel that pain, that that single tear rolling down his face of this is what I have to do.
I gotta do it. I gotta do it. I guess you're right. My previous comments didn't give credit to his reputation, and I think that's what you're speaking to, because he does reveal. He asked him, "Do you know?" He went all Walter White on him. Say my name. Do you know who I am? And he's like, "Yeah." He's like, "Well, I don't know. People say." He said, "No.
Yeah, what they call me?
People say, And he's like the Jew hunter, which is not very creative of a nickname. It's a little bit disappointing.
Like, but he also said, that's what I do.
Yeah, and that whole scene, it was just amazing. It completely set the tone for the rest of the movie, and to me, it was brilliant for Tarantino to just allow Christoph Waltz to cook for 20 minutes, essentially. That seems about 20 minutes long.
For sure.
It literally, listen to what we're saying. It took 20 minutes for him to walk into a cabin, have a conversation with this dude, find out these people, and then execute them ultimately, which is what this scene leads to. He does choose to give them up. It took 20 minutes, and in a worse movie, you would get annoyed. You would lose interest. You would, why is this all this talking? Nah, his line delivery, everything, you're clinging to the words. Yeah. And he just chewed up that scenery. And by the time chapter 1 was over, I'm like, all right, let's go. I'm here.
Yeah,
I'm locked in.
Locked in. It's absolutely that. Even in his silences, just so much was said. And even, there's something subtle that he does here. And, I'm not a film expert, but I'm going to take what I can from here. So, the farmer pulls out his pipe. He asks him, "Hey, do you mind if I smoke?" He's like, "Yeah, of course, this is your house. You do your thing." And he said, "Hey, can I smoke?" And he pulled out this gigantic ass pipe. I'm like, why the fuck did he do that? Except to show, I'm better than you in every way you can think of. I'm bigger than you. I'm better than you. I have more power than you. You are powerless in your own house. That's what that said to me. Because there's no other reason to have this gigantic ass pipe just out except to tell you I'm better than you.
With. It messes with your frame of your outfit. That's what I have in my notes. Where the F did he pull this pipe from? This big pipe from? I don't know where it
came from. All I know is the gigantic pipe was now in his mouth. I was like, okay. But all that said to me was, I'm bigger and better than you, even in your own home. So don't fuck with me.
And then, what was so cold is when the farmer finally gave up the family, the Dreyfuses is the family, right? When he finally gives them up, Landa, Christoph's character's name is Hans Landa, right? So Landa says, I'm going to take the fact that they haven't reacted, I'm not hearing any rustling, they can't speak English. And he nodded, and he's like, okay, I'm going to switch back to French. You're going to play along, and we're going to, that scene, because I'm sitting there like, why is no one trying to run away? And he's like, no, they can't speak English. Which, if you think about it, because when with this movie, you have to go back and think about his actions. Landa doesn't waste any actions. So he intentionally switched to English early on in the conversation to, one, disarm the farmer and allow himself, so when the reveal happens, it's happening while they're speaking English, so that he doesn't have to deal with chasing down a whole bunch of people or it becoming a dangerous or ugly situation. He's literally shooting fish in a barrel, you know? And that's just the brilliance. So I'm going to take a second. We are going to be gushing over this guy who's playing a Nazi character, which is tough.
That is tough.
Just, to acknowledge it. Yeah, just to acknowledge it. But, you know, the acting is the acting, right? But that was great.
That's a great chapter 1. So, you know, we get to the farmer, giving them up, like you said. Hans Lando says, okay,
Landa.
you know, we're gonna switch. Is it Landa? Why is it Lando?
Yeah, he did, yeah. Which
I said it strongly too.
It's Star Wars, and you don't even know Lando Calrissian. Whatever.
Star Wars is making a comeback. Oh my god! Yeah, one of these days, this guy's gonna make me watch Star Wars, and
I will.
He's not gonna be very happy with my comments. So we're gonna have an argument for the first time in a 20-year friendship. A real argument. We'll be like, you know what? I'm not even speaking to you after this. Like, I don't know what we're doing after this. Like, anyway, Hans Landa is, you know, switches back to French. Sounds all giddy. Maybe they're thinking, okay, we made it. That must have been such a mind fuck for that family. Yep. They're like, everybody's just breathing a sigh of relief. He's leaving. We made it. Because you know, he started, I think when he was still speaking French, he said, you know, I'm checking you one more time. And then after this, we're going to assume you're good. So now this family's hearing that. He sounds happy. He's leaving. Probably a sense of relief that they don't have to worry about this ever again. You're going to be written off the list anymore. We're good to go. And then, you know, he calls in his soldiers and they proceed to shoot up the floor.
Yeah, it's bad.
Empty clips of bullets into the floor, which I did not expect. I did not expect them to do that. You know, I thought, and this might be maybe, I don't know why you did that. Because again, this might be just my lack of experience in this topic, but I just always assume like they always got kind of rounded up and taken to like concentration camps or something. So I was just shocked to just murder. I mean, they were murdering concentration camps anyway, but I just was just shocked at that.
You know, it's funny because I watched this part of the movie with Risa, and Risa made the same comment like, "Oh, I thought he was gonna arrest them or take them to a camp." And so this is 1941. I mean, I don't know, the camp's full, or like what point are we in the war? And I will be honest, I didn't go brush up on my World War II history, you know. In preparation
we got time for that. We got jobs.
You know? Yeah, you know. Well, exactly. So, but I don't know. Like he did not even take any prisoners.
He did not take any prisoners. He did not take any prisoners. He just shot the whole family.
Our girl,
Shoshana,
my girl, Shoshana, booked it. She got out of there. 100%.
She got out of there.
100%.
Why? Okay, so I have a theory as why he did this. Because he obviously sees her running out, and you know he pulls a weapon on her, but he never fires. You think
she was
my personal?
Too far away.
I mean, she was kind of far, but I mean, I still would have shot. I mean, I would have shot. Like she was far away after a certain point, but he was close enough. Or they were in vehicles. They could have just ran her down. Like, so the point is,
he could have pursued her. Let me hear your theory.
My theory of just why he did that was just so, you know, because his reputation is also helpful and part of his, like, Jew hunter and all that stuff. So, you know, I thought he let her go so he could tell people about it. Just like, all right. The same reason why the Inglourious Basterds let people go sometimes, just to let people know, like, yeah, we're here and we're going to do this for you or do this to you. What are your thoughts?
I looked at it more as hubris, where he said, who cares? You know, like, I'm not going to waste the bullets. I'm not going to waste my time chasing down one Jew. I looked at it more as hubris, where he just thought, she wasn't worth it. So that's how I initially took it. But I do have some Landa theories, but for later on, in later chapters that I will share with you, because he forces you to kind of process things in a different way, and you have to look back, and that's what I'm saying. You have to look back in his actions and be like, why did he do this? Was there like a meaning behind this, or was there some kind of scheme? So I'm not gonna rule out what you said. I like the theory.
Yeah, I assume everything he's doing is some kind of something to add tension, to add scary, to add threat without threatening. But that's just my thought. The music also helped drive the tension and the excitement, and it was there. I
agree. I didn't actively take notes on the music, but the music was great just throughout. It's nice, and it's an eclectic collection of because it wasn't just like orchestra music. He had some like pop songs, and not pop songs, but pop. Comparing it to like orchestral music, he did have some like pop songs mixed in there as well. It was
he had the David Bowie song in there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Chapter 2.
All right. Chapter 2.
So here we are introduced to the Bastards as a group, but more specifically Pitt's Lieutenant Aldo Rain, Hugo, and the Bear Jew. We see the Fuhrer is pissed and discover that the Bastards took some of his men and desecrated their bodies. And we get to see some of their interrogation methods and just why Hitler is so angry with the Bastards.
The scene where, like, okay, so again, I'm gonna preface this to say that yes, I did not do very much like Hitler / World War II
it's depressing, man.
Background or whatever.
Yeah.
But it is depressing for sure. But like the way that Tarantino wrote and directed this movie, like Hitler was pressed. I mean, just like ridiculously pressed about this like group of like 5 people, and I was just like, "Is this?" I mean, I know it's not historically accurate, but it just made him seem so weak, and it was just like, "This is weird." Like, why are you so pressed about these 5 people? Like, ain't that serious?
As the movie goes on, we realize how not serious it is.
Yeah.
As far as just how important or great this group of guys are. But yeah, Hitler's stressed out, just turning red. He got the hair flopping all over the place. He's sounding super angry in Germany. Just
Germany.
Yeah.
Shout out to our German listeners.
I know. Hey, listen, right? One thing I did, because I did a very small amount of research. One thing I did see, they had to, when we talk of trivia, they had to, in the production of the movie, not production, like the marketing of the movie, they had to get rid of like the Nazi symbols and iconography because for it released in Germany specifically, because Germany has like laws not specifically against like swastikas and Nazi symbols, but against I guess they have determined Nazism as like a terrorist group. So they have laws against any type of like propaganda or any type of imagery that align with these types of groups, which I'm like, yay, Germany. Good for you guys.
I mean, I knew that only because, Family Guy.
I was going to say it's going to be a Family Guy reference.
It's definitely Family Guy.
What Family Guy episode is that?
I think it was one of the first episodes where Stewie built his time machine and it went back and they were in Germany. Or was it the time machine or were they just traveling? Crap, I can't remember exactly.
Stewie, one of the road trip ones?
Yeah, I made one of the road trip ones where they ended up in Germany and they were taking a tour. And they just they went to like 1940 and then skipped to like 1944 or 45. And then Brian was like, "Hey, what about 1941 and 1942?" And they're like, "Nothing happened in 1941 and 1942." And this way is the sausage. Just like they just completely skip that shit. They're like, "That
is
happen.
Hilarious."
My bad.
But to give Germany some credit, that's not how they are. I know Family Guy is satire; they make it fun, but Germany actually educate their citizens on what happened, and they're like, "Hey, man, this was terrible. We fucked up. Sorry, rest of the world. We shouldn't have done this. Also, we're not going to condone this behavior anymore. If only other countries could acknowledge troublesome things that took place in their past that they perpetrated, educate the populace about it.
Dun, 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 dun. They're coming for you.
And okay, all right. Going off the rails there. I'm just saying.
And now, a political 101 with Amari Williams.
I know. I don't want to go on these tangents. I'm so sorry. Dude, swastikas aren't even illegal in our country. That is nuts.
They are not. They are not. You can definitely rock your swastika and just be like, hey, what's up? Hey, we got a constitution that says you can say whatever you like.
You can do and say whatever.
It's freedom of speech, man.
All right. Well, maybe that's enough for now. We'll see if we circle back to. I don't know. Hopefully people are still listening and they didn't shut us off.
And they probably did, but that's okay because we do this for the love of the film. All right. So here we are. One of the other things that I saw that kind of stuck out to me was, we got introduced to Lieutenant Aldo as Brad Pitt, as you said, and of course the thing that they kind of zoom in on, you can see the injury around his neck, which looks like a rope was around his neck, so it looks like he was hung or something, or
my assumptions
somehow gagged
or
something like that.
I have that it's a noose mark, yeah.
Yeah, it looks like a noose for sure. So to me, that showed like this man is hard to kill, and he's a badass, of course, and he's here to repay for whoever did that to him. Back in Tennessee, he was probably trying to help someone and got himself caught up. Maybe some folks who were black or something or Jewish or whatever and got himself caught up, and now he's over in Germany trying to go back right to the source. So I did appreciate that.
Really?
I did appreciate.
I had a completely different take on that.
Jesus, what's up?
I found it distracting.
Distracting. Okay.
I wanted to know where you wanted to know why. I wanted to know why.
That would have been nice. A flashback
because
why.
They spent so much time giving us flashbacks out of all these other characters, which, spoiler alert, a lot of them don't matter or don't even last very long in the movie. So,
yeah, it was horrible.
Yeah. So they just, I don't know. And maybe you're right. Maybe I was way too close-minded about it. But I saw, my note says, peep the noose marks around his neck. I said, where the F is he? Oh, no, sorry. That's a different note. But I said, peep the noose marks around his neck. And when the movie ended, I realized they never told us. And I wrote it down in real time. Like, as the movie was done, one of my notes were like, what the hell was those scars about?
Yeah.
So
I think I probably went back to that and added, like, I guess, well, no, that's why I felt naturally. Like, it was just showing as, like, he's hard to kill.
Yeah.
Because he's doing a tough thing. And, they were like a Secret Service unsanctioned something out there scalping people. Because, typically the U.S. doesn't allow their soldiers to scalp people like that. So there was some kind of Secret Service unsanctioned thing just kind of doing the Lord's work out there. So I think I just took it as they were hard to kill. But it was a little bit of a miss, I feel, from Tarantino, that we didn't get the background story. Because, he's just a handsome, tall, white guy. So why is he out there doing that? Everybody else was Jewish, or had a Jewish background, or had been, or just was fed up for whatever reason. For the one guy, Stiglitz, I think, who was in the army, and then
was my guy.
He wasn't an army, but he was an army to kill officers because he saw that it was kind of a messed up thing. He had a first-hand look because he was German himself. So everyone else had a background on why they were doing it, which he didn't get that from Lieutenant Aldo. Other than, it's just horrible, but still, why are you out there?
Yeah. And that's one of my problems with the Pitt character, and I'll talk more about that as we go on. But
okay.
And then his accent, my next note was, where the F is he from? The accent was so just distracting also. And then he delivers his 100 Nazi scalps line. So at this point, I paused the movie to take some notes. And my notes were like, is this Nazi sculpting literal? Because I'm like, that's a bit sadistic and it's also impractical. So I'm like, as a soldier, am I expected to stop and go back and collect all these scalps And then I'm like, how do I know if the person I killed is like, did my bullet kill this guy that I'm scalping? Like, how we're in an honor system here? So I had so many questions.
Like, I think that's mine. Like, all right.
I know. So I'm like, I wish there was a follow-up question by someone in the army, but they immediately fulfilled my question.
They told you why.
And they cut to these guys literally scalping dudes.
Sir, I literally had the note, oh, we literally scalping Nazis. That was like my note. That's the note I have. We literally scalping Nazis. Oh, okay. That's what we're doing. All right, I got it. Yes, they're not joking. I want my 100 scalps, and I want them now. Okay.
Yeah, no, it's just, I literally was like, oh shit, my bad. When you hit 100,
do you just like stop afterwards? You're like, oh.
Yeah, so then did he want, was it 100 each? No, he said he wants 100. So collectively, he wants them to give him 100 scalps, right?
See, I took it as each person has to deliver 100 scalps. That's what I did. That's what I took it as.
Wow. You know what it's like to kill 100 men?
For purposes of this podcast,
okay.
No.
Okay. You took a long time. I was like, just say no. And you didn't say no. And now this is awkward. So moving on. I think now, so now they're getting Stiglitz, Hugo Stiglitz. I like Stig. The way they get Stig out of prison, for that scene, they started off with a stealth attack and they cut this guy's throat.
Yeah.
And then immediately followed by shooting up the place.
Shooting everything. I was like, what the fuck? Like, damn. I'm like, what if they had shot him accidentally? Like, bullets bounce. Like, what is happening?
I was like, why waste your time with the whole stealth action? It bought you 0 time. You know, you still killed every single person in there. So what is happening?
I mean, I guess the folks on the outside, you want to be stealth because if people hear on the inside that something's going on outside, then they might have killed him. So they didn't want him to be harmed. So they just took out people on the outside to not alarm the people on the inside. But then once you get inside and they're like, well, this is the last folks here, I guess they were just like, oh, shoot everything, which, all right.
Yeah, I guess.
Just wasting bullets, but
I saw one guy throat get sliced, but okay. All right.
Yeah.
I guess security was pretty light. I don't even know why was Stig even in prison? They said he killed 13 Nazis. How does that not warrant a shoot on sight?
You know, great question. I guess because he was a German citizen, so I guess he deserved due process.
Oh, get out of here. We're not going to put due process and the Nazi regime in the same sentence, are we?
I'm just saying. I mean, I'm just saying that
what they said was
What'd they say?
Well, they said that they wanted to make an example out of him, but I think killing him, cutting his head off, and like putting it on a spike someplace, that makes sends a message as well. So
yeah, maybe they want to do it in like a public setting,
yeah,
like a public hanging or a public decapitating, kind of Marie Antoinette type of vibe, perhaps.
So is there like paperwork or something, or like there's like a delay in when his like execution was going to be settled? Because
I think they were in France, so he had to go back to Germany.
I guess. Okay. I thought that was in Germany, but okay. All right.
It might have been. It might have been. They're not very he's not, Tarantino's not very clear.
Yeah.
Exactly where things are. Like, you just know they're in some kind of combination of these 3 places, but.
Yeah. It's very convenient when he's like, oh yeah, we're in France. And then he says it 1941 France. And then it's like, well, this is 4 years later. And then it's like, oh, we're just in a different location. I'm like, what? Be consistent. If you're going to give us subtitles, like location tags, I mean, just do it the whole time. And timelines. Right. Whatever. Okay.
Because there wasn't like any distinct landmarks where you could be like, oh, this is obviously France, this is obviously Germany. It was just like, most of it was like in the woods or
countryside, hillside, yeah.
Like, okay, like where are we? But, whatever. Anyway, so, something else in the scene so 2 things. Mm-hmm. The long walk by Beer, like hitting the bat.
Oh my God.
I was like, it was such a build-up. I swear an actual bear was going to jump out. Like, it was such a build-up. Random guy just walked out. I was like, man.
And Eli Roth is who's playing Bear. Bear's not even like a big dude.
He's not even. Like, I think he
just
had
a
a little bit of
dude.
hair on his chest. So I guess he's
just a guy.
bear guy. But I'm like, the build up, I was really expecting an actual bear to come out, and they just trained this bear to beat the shit out of Nazis, which I would have just been like, oh, this makes sense in this world. But just random guy with a bat.
Awesome.
I'm like, first of all, this is not very
a
efficient
random
killing.
Psycho with a bat. He asked that boy a question, and he's like, I'm not answering.
He cracked the shit out of this man. I was like, damn. He's not coming back from this, even if he wanted to. This man's brain damage.
He didn't. He couldn't even respond after that. Oh my god!
Brain damage. Even if he like hit him like a little bit and be like, okay, I thought about it. That bat hurt. Let me give you the answer. It was like, nope, brain damage immediate. He cracked the shit out of that man.
Yep. Scrambled his brain one time, and then he asked the next dude, and that dude was like, "Hey, bro, I'm gonna tell you everything. Okay, get me a map, give me a pencil. All right, let's go."
Oh, I didn't really want to be here for real. Like, I just, I was just hungry. They was offering food. Yeah, all right. Yeah. But I did love the camera work here. I have that note here. Like, I think when they were kind of sitting and talking, he had the camera kind of panning between the folks, and it's almost like you were sitting there, like you were in the camp with them. So I did love the camera work there.
Yes, a lot of camera stuff in here. I do have in, I think, chapter 5. I have some notes for what they did in the techniques they use in that section for sure. But so after they're done with that guy, that's when they marked him, right? Yes.
And like hey, you could just take off that uniform. And
I like that.
And just be a regular dude anymore. Like, let me give you something. That was
like that
deep scar. Like, holy hell,
it's
like,
bad. Yeah,
that is deep.
I think that was one of my favorite parts. Just that little section where he was like, "No, I don't need you blending into the crowd. I don't need you like hiding who you are."
Which is what a lot of
done.
actual SS officers did, especially the officers. They did that, and then a lot of folks, were brought up on like war crimes later because they were just hiding. They were just a regular pharmacist, doctor, whatever, and they're like, "Wait, are you Han?" And they're like, "Hey, weren't you an SS officer?" Yeah, Professor is my German. Professor is my German last name. So again, shout out to the German folks listening, because I fucking know German. But yeah, it was like there's so many war crimes people were brought up as so much later, and the people are like 80, 90, and like but you still going to jail for what you did. But they just took that shit off and was like, my bad, and went home.
Let's not also forget though, America hired a bunch of their scientists too.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So some went into hiding, but some were just given jobs. It was like, hey, man, come work here.
I'm not saying that we were... Yeah, hell yeah.
Man, but yeah. Overall, I thought part 2 was a good introduction to another set of cast members, and we're like still table setting 38 minutes into the movie. 40 minutes have gone by at this point almost, and we're only in part 2. But clearly, so you can clearly see why the movie is going to be long, but I'm still interested at this point in time, and I was ready to keep going.
Yeah.
Chapter 3, ready for that?
Chapter 3
is titled German Night in Paris, and it introduces us to Shoshana 4 years after she escaped from the farm. So we're in 1945 for those of you. No, 46. What did I say, 4 years? Yeah, 1945 after she escaped the farm, right? We find out that she owns a cinema. A Nazi soldier becomes enamored with her and introduces her to other Nazis and presents to her an opportunity that she cannot refuse.
Yeah. And something, so guess who we get to see pop back up here?
Well,
in this scene.
We gotta hold on.
Fine. I just want to get back to him, but whatever.
I know.
I just skip everything else. Guess who we get to see again?
And that is a problem with this scene, right? Because I'll tell you about how I feel about Brad Pitt and like the Bastards later on, right? But they were still entertaining, Shoshana, I'm Team Shoshana. I love Shoshana. She has no fucking personality, and she really doesn't. And then to me, Daniel Bruhl's sure, call it what you want. But Daniel Bruhl's character was he Zoller? He's Zoller, right? Yeah, Zoller. He is so annoying. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, he didn't get the hint at all.
No, and like the whole time, I'm just like, what is happening? So we see Shoshana. We're reintroduced to her. She's changing a marquee in a theater, which looks like a terrible job. I would not want to do that. But I guess that's better than being dead with your whole family under a farmer's floor, right?
Yeah.
But Frederick Zoller, I think is his name. He just can't read the room. You know, he just comes and he's just talking to her, just talking, and she's like, "Dude, leave me alone." You know. Well, she can't say that because obviously he's not just a Nazi soldier. He's apparently one of the top Nazi soldiers. Like he's the real deal, right?
Yeah.
A real popular guy, and his character didn't really work for me at all. Like not once was I interested in like anything he was saying or doing. I was mostly annoyed with him, and I wasn't. I don't know. I wasn't into it. It was not holding my attention, and this chapter overall gave me a very hard time, right? And you know, sprinkling some of my little trivia that I have, you know that only roughly 30% of the film is spoken in English.
He's still mad about that.
No, I'm so serious. Like I saw it on IMDb actually. 70% of the movie is, you know, this is highly unusual for a Hollywood production where 30% is in English and the rest is French, German, Italian. And
not Italian. The Italian was horrible, but yeah,
it was a little bit of Italian was sprinkled in. I can't wait. I can't wait to get there. But but for real, it really made me. And I fell asleep watching chapter 3. Part of that had to do with it was late at night or whatever. But the fact that I had to have all my faculties to follow it was very slow, and it took them to meet Goebbels, the Dr. Goebbels, the guy who's all into film. And one of the things is it's just interesting to think about what the Nazi regime did for German film. Because I guess
did a lot.
that became a whole thing. Yeah. You know,
but one of the notes I have here though is, I mean, though you have to pay like you can't be like scrolling on your phone or something and listening because it's all it all is in a, or it's very much all in a different language. One thing that I did point out and that I really loved is, you know, I have to do the movie really, but I just find it so amazing how people are able to just switch languages like that. Like just we speaking French, we speaking English, we speaking Italian, we speaking German, like just literally one word German, the next word in French, just fluently transitionally. I was just like, I barely speak English, so I was just amazed at how easily they were just like, depending on who's in the room, able to just switch, and it was like flawless. And you know, even though accents becomes a very important part of the movie. Yes, you know, even though it's not a natural accent, it's just like, you know, just fluently, just like, I just thought it was so amazing to watch and watch all these people just be able to do that. And the other thing that we also get to see is, you know, everyone assumes Shoshana is just French right now, and able to only speak French, but we know that she can speak German as well, and we know that she can. We as an audience know that she can understand, but she has to kind of pretend that she can because she doesn't want to give away who she really is. So it was always interesting to watch her face as she was hearing things in Germany, and you know, not trying to react and things like that.
Yes, because that whole thing, they're talking around her and talking over her. Right. And she's just like, sitting
stupid
there.
Girl. I said it in a French accent, but stupid like, girl. Nope, that's not German. I don't know what that is.
They talk to her. They talk to her about like, oh, like, you know, but she was like invited or like not like turn on the invitation. I'm like, you kidnapped this
invitation?
Woman.
You kidnapped her ass. Yeah. I said that. I was like, what invitation? They literally said, get your ass in the car. Like, there was no invitation.
Abducted her. It's craziness, you know?
I didn't have a choice here. You said, get in, and then looked at me like you were going to shoot me. Like, what the hell was that? But, yeah, it was weird.
So, you know, while you were being amazed and awed at the different languages, I was in my feelings and just feeling exposed and uncultured because at one point, this dude is speaking in German. The lady's translating the German to French, and then the TV's giving me subtitles in English, so my dumb brain can follow along. I'm like, hey,
yeah.
To your point, I was like, there is a lot happening right now in this scene, you know.
Yeah.
So that was pretty cool. I got distracted a little bit when they started pouring the champagne. Mm-hmm. It's weird what catches your eye, so bear with me on this tangent, right? But they poured it in a coupe glass, right? Mm-hmm. And it took me a second to remember what it was called. But I'm like, it's a bowl. I'm like, why is the rim so big, you know? So it sent me down like a rabbit hole of, well, when were coupe glasses created? You know, like, is this anachronistic or is this legit? And
yeah,
it was pretty legit. They did their homework because coupe, I don't know too much about, like, they talk about how Marie Antoinette or whatever, how the coupe glass was like modeled using her breast, you know, like.
I did not know that.
It's a myth, but it's one that's rampant. Yeah,
it's a good myth. I'll run with it.
Yeah. Oh, they did, but it definitely got popularized in France, which they were in France and everything. So it all made sense. But the coupe glass kind of sucks for champagne. I mean, they did it for a lot of time, but it being that wide and open is going to release a lot of like the fragrance and the bubbles and stuff, which it'll reduce how sparkly it is. So it's not the ideal glass, which is why the flute was invented afterwards.
Right.
Not for champagne. Yeah.
Anyway. Or for like wine, where you have that wider bottom, for especially for red wine. But yeah, definitely for the champagne, it doesn't seem to make sense. But you know, fashion is fashion.
A nice full-bodied red.
Yes.
With just wanted to
cranberry undertones and chocolate and rosemary and dirt, because that's what mine tastes like.
All right, let's get to what you really want to talk about, because I think you agree. Overall, this chapter is not very interesting until Hans Landa walks into the room.
We have the showdown between Shoshana and Hans Landa.
Let's get to Landa. Do it.
All right. First of all, again, the man walks in and it's so much tension without much being said. In fact, I don't even know when he arrived, to be honest. All we know and all we see is the other soldier like pop up and man is standing there. You're like, where the fuck did this guy come from?
Yep.
And then immediately he just takes over the scene.
Yes.
It's just
immediately.
It's almost like no one else was in the room but him. And it was like, ugh.
I mean, what were we doing for the last 15, 20 minutes, you know?
Right. It's just like, everything else really didn't matter. The man walks in and it's just like, again, he just brings with him such an air of command. And I guess that's why he's the Jew hunter who he was in that movie, because it was just an air of command immediately. Nothing not really said, just playing with dialogue and silence in such a way that it just spoke so much more when he was silent than it did. So yeah, I have a lot of that note is within my notes of just tension in the movie without much being done by the actors. Because right now you're in a scene where, you have the the annoying, I'll say Bo.
Zoller. Yeah.
Zoller is there. Dr. What's his name? I'm sorry.
Goebbels. Yeah.
I'm going to call him Gobbles. I like Gobbles. Okay, Dr. Gobbles is there. Shoshana is there. And now we know Hans is there as well. Now we know as the audience what the connection between Hans and Shoshana is, right? Shoshana watched her entire family be murdered by this man not even 4 years ago, like very fresh, right? And you have to wonder, how much has he seen? How much does he know? How much did he see of her face? I mean, she was running away, but could he recognize her? And she must be dealing with that too. Like, she's still trying to pretend she doesn't understand half of what they're saying. You know, she's just staying on French. She's trying to keep her composure, and then at the same time, he's testing her. And he's testing her so subtly that, you either have to be of that religion to understand what's happening, or just be a super serious, history buff, or just look it up like what I did. So, because I was so confused about the cream scene and why he was so adamant about waiting for this cream. Why are you waiting for this cream? Because she was just about to dig in. He's like, no. You wait for the cream. You need the cream.
Yeah.
And she couldn't be like, nah, I'm going to do my thing. She's like, no. It was just like, if she had ate that thing with the cream, he would have put a bullet in her head. In the middle of that restaurant, I swear to God, he probably would have. So she just had to wait.
But you said you looked up the pastry, you said?
Yeah, I did. Do you know why he was doing that?
No.
Okay.
I just thought he was being a psycho, and just I thought it was a power play, and he was just enforcing his will. You know, I didn't realize there was more behind it.
No, there's more behind it. So again, you have to wonder as an audience as you're looking at it, especially if you're of that faith, Jewish faith, of like, does he know who she is? Because essentially he's testing her. So is he just assuming? Does he see something? Because she looks very Gentile. You know, she doesn't, you know, characteristically, and please correct me if I'm wrong, look like a Jewish person. You know, her hair is blonde. She has very light eyes. You know, very kind of straight, thinner nose or whatever. Her features don't look necessarily what you would picture with a Jewish person. So, but he is a Jew hunter, so he probably has seen, you know, various people who look differently and are still Jewish. So with the asking her to wait to put the cream on, he was forcing her to violate a kosher law. So that law is mixing dairy and meat. So he was forcing her to eat a non-kosher pastry, which is the strudel, and with cream, which is the dairy, and they're not supposed to do that. So if she had refused to do those things, then he would have, you know, known that she was Jewish and, you know, arrested her, shot her, whatever the hell he would have done. But he would have known that she was Jewish. So it was a very slight. He questioned her without questioning her, and she tried to get around it. She tried to start eating it. He's like, no. You wait for the cream. You need to wait for the cream. So.
Holy shit! You're a podcasting genius. You're doing some good work over here. Look at you, girl. That is amazing. No,
it's only because it piqued my interest, because I was like, why is he so crazy about this cream? Yeah. So I had to Google it, because I'm like, there must be something I'm missing other than, he's just a psycho who's just like forcing his will, which is also probably also part of it. But
no, for sure.
As well as he was definitely testing her without testing her, because, you know, he's a Jew hunter. He knows some things, right?
Listen, I was already locked in on this guy, but what you just shared, that just opens up things even more for me. And I'm gonna give you my theory now. Should I? No, I'm gonna wait. I have to wait till chapter 5. I have to wait.
Okay. Yeah. That's cool. But I think also it is part of what you said, which is just like, not only was he testing her, he was also showing power over her. And you could feel it. You could feel that tension and that like, hey, I could snap my finger and you disappear tonight. And it was like, and once the scene ended, you saw that when she like finally looked like she breathed for the first time in like 10 minutes.
Yeah,
like,
she was right. She
didn't want to. Go ahead.
No, I was saying she was right to exhale. Like, she had to have been feeling so stifled just by his presence alone. You know?
Right. Yeah.
Man.
This is a man who literally murdered your entire family. He tried to kill you in a way. You know, he is famous for figuring people out when they're hidden and things like that. And he's like, 5 feet away from you. So close you could touch him. So close he could touch you. So she must have been shitting bricks for sure. Anybody in that situation would have been. And then he tested her, and luckily she passed. She waited. She ate the cream, but but she could have been found out right then and there.
So this movie almost warrants another watch, because you talked about the accents thing. We're going to talk about that in chapter 4 here, but these subtle cultural things, right, that Tarantino sprinkled throughout the movie, that's very interesting. That stuff is very interesting. So after she got out of that scene, she went home to go meet Marcel, the one black character in the movie.
and her lover, which was interesting.
And her lover, yeah.
That was fun.
But yeah, her whole plan was to burn the whole place down. And for a second, I need to research fires in old film houses, and then a random narrator came on to explain how nitrate film burns 3 times faster than paper, because I was going to research that after the movie, but immediately the narrator was like, no, hold on, buddy, I got you. So that was interesting. Again, I do feel the chapter was tough.
Narrator?
Oh, I don't know. Who is it? Who was it? Was it someone in the movie?
No.
It wasn't Tarantino, correct?
No, it wasn't.
Because he actually was in the movie. Okay.
I mean, I'm going to have to Google this and make sure I'm not wrong, but it sounded like Samuel Jackson to me.
I didn't get that at all.
Oh, shit. Maybe I'm wrong. We have to Google this. We have to cut this part out. I thought it was Samuel Jackson.
I'm not saying you're wrong. I didn't pick that up.
I mean, maybe because he didn't say motherfucker. So you were just like, that's not him.
I feel like you are absolutely right. God damn, you trying to win a fucking Emmy or win a podcast host?
Oh my goodness. Come on, Marty.
Shit.
Come on. You got to hear that voice, sir.
Good job.
That was Samuel all day.
Was I sleeping?
I might have missed this part.
Wow. Hey, I did say that chapter 3 was tough for me.
You did fall asleep, so you must have been like half awake when you heard it. You're like, guy.
Wow, look at you crushing it. Yeah, keep that in. Leave my embarrassment in so everyone can hear it, because you nailed it. You were right. But it was a tough chapter overall.
Right.
It was very slow. It's not as interesting.
Yeah.
It was. There was no. I think this was the only chapter there was 0 English in it. It was all French or German.
I
but
didn't even pick up on that.
Yeah. If I remember correctly, there was 0 English in that chapter. So that added to it. However, as you just eloquently stated, the end of the chapter got so interesting. Literally because Waltz just walked in and re-entered the scene. And Landa and Shoshana. That tension, the chemistry between them, fantastic work to set us up to get into chapter 4, Operation Kino. So in this, we receive an explanation of Operation Kino and are introduced to 2 new characters who will be instrumental to the success of the operation. We learn that this operation involves the Bastards, and we watch as they rendezvous with von Hammersmark to receive intel for the operation. And when this happened, my first comment when chapter 4 started was, damn, this cast is so big. There's so many people in this movie. Because Michael Fassbender's showing up like an hour and a half into the damn movie, right? And I'm like, what the heck? I forgot we saw him in the credits, but it's not that I forgot. I was waiting for Fassbender to show up, but I was just surprised it took him so long. And when he came on the screen, I'm like, all right, who's this guy? But he immediately introduced himself as R.G. Highcock, so we didn't have to worry about who he is, what he's going to be doing. And he enters into this room to go talk to like this general and some other dude. They found the biggest room to have such an intimate conversation in.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I guess that was just his office? I don't know.
It was weird. No, this shit was like a ballroom. He's talking to the one guy, and then apparently this old dude is like,
I don't know why he was
20
over
feet
there.
away on sitting by a piano. And Fassbender was like, what was that? Like, was he trying to talk?
It was a weird thing. Like, I don't know why he was doing that. Like, he was whispering in a corner, and he's like, what the hello? Like, I don't know. That was kind of weird.
Yeah. Super weird.
That was weird.
So Fassbender's character, he's this journalist, right? He's a journalist that specializes in like Nazi art, German art.
German and films, yes.
Yes. And he studied the Nazi ones because that's becoming more popular now. And, they tested him and his knowledge of such and such. And they're like, all right, cool. This guy, he knows his stuff. So Operation Kino is explained to us, which is essentially they want to blow up the theater that Dr. Goebbels and the other Nazis are gathered at to watch the film. So we're finally getting some of that connective tissue, right, between the two storylines, the two plot points that you highlighted at the beginning of the movie. and we're introduced to we're introduced to Bridget von Hammersmark, and I'm like, that's not a real name. I'm like, sorry, the Van Hammersmarks that are out there, that cannot be a real name. That has to be a completely made up name. What was very sudden for me was when Fassbender, Highcox is his character, when he joined with Brad Pitt and them, very suddenly they skipped. The movie was like they drag out these scenes usually when we're in chapters, and we got that quick introduction scene of Highcox, and all of a sudden he was with the Bastards. I almost didn't recognize Fassbender. I was like, oh, how did he get there already? But now they're talking about their plan to go meet with Brigitte at this bar, an underground basement bar that was filled with Nazi or German soldiers. Terrible plan on paper, terrible plan in reality, but they decide, let's do it. Let's give her a chance and see what happens. And talk about tension. These guys walk into there, and
wait, before we move on,
yeah,
I do want to comment on that as well. Like, I don't understand that part. I don't understand why they were doing some surveillance or whatever. They were looking through the window. They saw it had people, and they saw that she was late. I don't understand why they couldn't rendezvous somewhere else. Like, why? Because it was, they later explain, after everything goes down, that she had tailors waiting for them and XYZ. Why they couldn't meet at the tailor or somewhere else? Like, I don't understand why they risked the plot, the plan just so kind of willy-nilly. Like, it just, that part didn't make any sense. Because they saw something fishy was going down. They were singing repeatedly.
Yeah.
Like, are you sure? Anybody could have called it off. And it's like, oh, we're, let's meet around a corner. But they just didn't. And I don't understand that at all. That kind of threw me on the movie. At it being so good the whole time is just like, why are they making these silly mistakes here? Like, at almost the third act. Why are we making silly mistakes like that? So that kind of threw me a little. But go ahead. I just wanted to.
Well, my answer to that is just they're dum-dums. Like, I had no choice. No, for real, because we got introduced to the Bastards in chapter 2. We haven't seen them since. In chapter 2 was literally just the, hey, check us out, we're a bunch of cool guys, we mean business, we're about to go do some shit. But they weren't doing shit. We had some of their past stuff individually, but chapter 4 is when we're now seeing these guys in action, and it was a very entertaining scene. But my takeaway at the end of it was these guys are a bunch of dum-dums. Even going into chapter 5, how the movie, these guys are not very good at their job. But chapter 2 was kind of deceptive. It was to make us feel like we have this like elite group of guys coming to execute this mission.
Yeah,
that's not the case. That's just not the case.
There's always, like, people have different strengths, and obviously their strength is killing Nazis, which they do. They scalp them. They do great at that. But this one required a little bit more finesse, and
which is why they brought in Highcox, Fassbender's character.
Right. Exactly. That's why they brought him in, which makes sense. Everything flowed and made sense. But no one pulling the plug on this critical part. And it's critical, but almost not. It almost didn't need to happen. That meeting in the bar did not need to actually happen for the rest of the plan to happen.
Nope.
It didn't make any sense.
Why couldn't she just go to where the fuck they were hiding?
Across the street.
All they need is for her to share information. She has to tell them these two things.
Right.
No,
I don't know why they couldn't meet at a tailor. And here I have tailors who are in on it, and they're gonna help you. Okay, why we didn't meet there? I didn't understand. Yeah. They didn't even need to meet with her. They could have just gone there. Like, even if she didn't want to be seen, because she's famous. She's a famous actress. Yeah. She's not like, she can't just walk down the street and not be recognized. So they need her. They needed her to be famous because they needed to get into the premiere, because they couldn't just be random guys just showing up. So they needed that, but there was no reason for them to meet. I didn't get it.
Landa is too smart for such an ineffectual group of people to be orchestrating this plot. He's just too clever for this, Yeah. But so let's get into what happens in the bar, right? So they're down there, and there's a group of German soldiers. Okay, so Brigitte says that they weren't supposed to be there. Wilhelm
Correct.
had a baby. His wife had a baby. He got his first child, and they're celebrating already.
Yeah.
Like, again, yes, pull the plug. Let's abort because all the circumstances have changed.
The part that like made me laugh out loud, which is weird, is just like, there was like soldiers in there, and then there was a woman soldier, and I have to think about were there women soldiers in Germany? Like I
had that same thought.
I don't know, but it just made me think weird. And then the other part of it was one of the male soldiers made some kind of comment, and she folded him up so quickly. I was like, damn. If I was him, I'd have left because that was embarrassing.
You saw the fear in his face, though. He wasn't. It wasn't fun and games. She almost choked that boy out. I had that written down too.
Strangled in front of everybody.
So scared. Okay, so scared. So
he just got quiet after that. He's like, I don't even want to play no more.
So we have Highcox, Stig, and a random red shirt, because we never knew this guy's name till after he died. Someone's called him a red shirt, like he was just there to get killed. But they come down and they join. They sit down for a drink. Bridget joins them, and Wilhelm comes over drunk, completely mashed up, and he's over there stumbling, bumbling, asks for the autograph and all these things. And I'm like, dude, you need to sit down. He keeps coming back. And at one point, Highcox, that's Archie Highcox, he tries to read this man his rights and tell him about his rank and being out of order and all of this shit. And homeboy was way too drunk to successfully get reprimanded, but not drunk enough to peep. Your accent's a little off, buddy.
Yeah, he's like, where are you from? Because I ain't never heard that before. Which is like, again, why are we bringing attention to ourselves in that manner? Like, why is he yelling at him? Why is he bringing, just give him what he needs, back up, or just pick up and leave at that point? Like,
they should have
he's
left.
harassing you.
Bridget said they couldn't leave because it's weird that she was sitting there.
Yes.
It would. This should have never gone in the first place, like you said. But to just up and leave, because the guy, he was harassing them. He was a drunk guy at a bar. We've had that before, but
right.
He did get impatient. He tried to pull rank on him. But lo and behold, there was actually a sergeant or a captain sitting in the corner the whole time. We never even, this guy, I was like, where the hell did he come from?
He was actually a major.
He was a major. He just showed up and he's like, hey man, let's talk about this accent of yours. And I don't know who that guy was. I don't know if you have that actor's name, but he did a really great job playing off I'm a Fassbender fan. And Fassbender was amazing in this chapter. He really was. And the dialogue between the Major and Highcox, and even with Diane Kruger, who plays Bridget, that little tete-a-tete, the conversation, the back and forth, trying to stay on top of it, trying to out-talk the other one, the saying but not saying, the double entendres, the hidden meanings. It was a very interesting conversation, but very tense, because the whole time you're just like, are they about to fuck this up? How is this going to go bad?
Yeah, I agree. I agree that Tarantino did an amazing job here with his how he shot this scene. One, it was so close. It was so, you felt kind of trapped. You were trapped in the scene with them, and you were trapped, like you said, into this. Like, are they gonna fuck this up? Are they gonna make it? And you have no idea how it's gonna go. Just like the beginning scene, where it's like, are they gonna make it? Or are they gonna get fucked up? And the Major, who I did not look up. I don't know his name, but the Major did an excellent job of creating that tension of like, I know something is wrong, but I can't necessarily pick it out yet. But I'm gonna test you.
Yep.
And he even subtly, because the other two people that are with him, what's his name? Stiggs is there, and the other guy who we don't know.
Shirt, yeah.
They both spoke, and he immediately said, Frankfurt, and then where's the other popular German city? Yeah. Anyway, he immediately called out where they were from based on how they spoke. He's like, I'm keen on accents. Your accent is a little weird. Now, British dude did a very good job of explaining, oh, well, I grew up in the mountains or whatever the hell he said, some kind of weird thing. And then he had Bridgie to back him up. So that kind of gave some validity to his story. But it was obvious still that something wasn't right. Like, why are three of you here with this actress in the middle of the night like this? So he tried to play it off, and he played it very well. But like, I want to play a game too, and I want to play a game too.
That
but
game
I didn't want to play with
me
them
out so much. And like Stiglitz the whole time. Stiglitz was bugging out. Stiglitz, he was about to fight him the whole time.
Yeah, I don't know what that was. Like, and then they had a random flashback of him like being whipped, and I was like, did he whip him?
Oh, yeah.
Like, what was that?
Well, you know what? I forgot that happened because it was so random. So here's something interesting. The actor who plays Stiglitz, right? He did not want to wear a Nazi uniform. He
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Till Schweiger is his name. He actually refused, and Tarantino told him, "Hey man, it's okay. Like every time you're wearing a Nazi uniform, you'll be killing Nazis." He said, "I bet." Like that literally was this. That let him be like, "Okay, all right, cool. I'll do this movie." So, but to go back to with him and the Major, they never really fleshed that out. It just gave us that weird visual, and then it just never paid off. And that starts to become a theme in the movie. So things don't play off as much as you would like them to.
Right. Yeah. That's fair. I guess it's just kind of like, some directors do, like, they give you flashes of things to kind of let the audience decide for themselves, like what happened, which that is nice. But then also it's like, no, you want to know, like, why are these people doing
sometimes.
This?
Yeah.
And also it's distracting. It makes sense. Like for the scene they were in, when there's already so much tension with the dialogue and the accent, and everybody's just trying to play it cool, it was just like, why did he just flash? What?
I think it was probably meant to serve as a red herring to make us think that Stiglitz was going to be the one that blew up the operation. Okay. I think that's the only because when I thinking back in real time, I thought Stiglitz was going to blow it. I thought they were going to have to shoot their way out because Stiglitz couldn't keep it together, and maybe that was to keep adding. I don't know. I don't think that whipping scene was needed. I was already feeling that way from the way he was acting, his facial acting. Yeah, like he did a good job with that. Like my note says, oh my gosh, like he's ready to cut this man up. He's losing it, So it didn't really need that scene, but they put it in. And listen, how shocked were you at what took place next? And we are going to halt the action right there, just as Operation Kino is heating up. Yes, we know it's a total cliffhanger, but consider this to be continued. The rest of our deep dive, the remaining jokes, the definitive ranking, and our final judgments on Inglourious Basterds will be coming at you in episode 5. Make sure you subscribe, download, and get ready for the thrilling conclusion. Thank you for joining us for part 1. We'll see you next time. Ciao for now.